Another big victory. I'm not going to blame Sri Lanka for what happened to them last time.
I mean, look at each and every spectacle of domination. England raced out for 129 rather. Sri Lanka raced out for 55 rather. And now South Africa are absolutely blasted out for 83 with Ravindra Jadeja taking 5 wickets. It's a big indication that Marco Jansen is your top scorer with 14. 5 for 33 and be it. Okay, I think they are slowly but surely coming here also.
That means we're being joined.
We are being joined, yeah.
Are we being joined?
No, I think they're going to the Tuck studio.
That's a big ear burster, I'm telling you. If you listen to it, which I unfortunately did one time, it was a big ear burster. So, meek capitulation. I've said this how many times? On a wicket that was becoming allegedly better to bat on.
No, it wasn't. I think it was getting trickier.
It was getting trickier. When Quinton de Kock chopped on to Mohammad Siraj, that's it. You were done and dusted with. You lost a total of 6 wickets for about 45 runs. That's it. Game, set, match. This time it wasn't the Pacers that did that much of damage. Look at the amount of turn Ravindra Jadeja was getting, and so was Kuldeep Yadav. 5 for 33 Ravindra Jadeja, 2 for 7 Kuldeep Yadav. Combined 14 overs for 40 runs and 7 wickets. Mohammad Shami set it going with some excellent reviews. And you know, it can't be South Africa's day when Virat Kohli is getting DRS decisions absolutely spot on.
Bang on.
Bang on. And that's why another crushing win, 8 out of 8, equals their best ever World Cup winning streak. Remember, they had done 2003, they had won 8 on the trot. Unlike 2003, the main question is, who can stop India? And I'll be straight out saying, no one.
Nobody can. Why didn't you get
So
them
you
along?
were dancing and creating a problem.
Why didn't you call them
here?
here?
I did shake a leg.
You didn't call them here.
Please.
Just to see Siddharth's face, you should have.
Why? What happened to that?
He's not a big fan of holes.
I'm not a fan of dolls at all.
But you have to be now. Get used to it.
Yeah. See.
आपकी शादी के बारात में ढोल ही बजा.
No. I told them later on. I didn't give them the shagun. I didn't, because I said I didn't want the dhol. DJs and doles. How much ever I try and stay in this part of the woods, I cannot adjust to it. So that's
This
the
part of
problem.
the woods.
In this part of the
Apparently,
woods.
DJs don't exist in the south of India.
Huh? In our weddings, hardly.
Arey, yaar.
Yeah.
Siddharth,
We have won 8 on the
don't give me
trot.
more reasons to dislike you.
Yeah. Please go ahead. If I speak the truth, people do dislike. What to do?
Arey,
Truth is truth.
we are on top of the
Yeah,
table.
When was there ever a
16
doubt?
points.
That the truth is that this Indian team is on a roll. Like there's no
Ruthless.
stopping them.
Ruthless.
Before you came, I had asked the
What
question.
adjectives have we used today?
Meek surrender. From South Africa.
Capitulation.
Brilliant, outstanding, unbelievable, out of this world,
Lethal.
Potent.
Ruthless.
potent, dominant, ruthless, invincible,
Indomitable.
indomitable. I'd ask the question, can anyone stop India? I am straight away saying no.
Yes.
Only if Indian fast bowlers bowl to Indian batsmen.
No, there is only one team right now that can stop India.
India.
Exactly.
India themselves.
The only way you are losing this World Cup now is if you have one of those bad half an hours or that 30,
No, I think
you know.
even that won't stop you from winning the World
No,
Cup anymore.
that's the only thing at this point that can stop you, because otherwise beyond that you are looking unstoppable. There is nothing stopping this Indian team from going on to lose the trophy.
By the way, Virat Kohli man of the match. Any surprises there? Or
no surprise.
Jadeja with a fifer. He stood a chance as well.
Yeah, but as you know, it's heavily skewed in the batsman's favor. So
Do you think this calls for a poll or not? Yes,
no.
The answer would be, the poll would be.
I think
equally
the
skewed.
innings he played
Virat
was very
Kohli,
important
please.
now, because I think that the way he read the situation and he assessed the conditions, that this wasn't somewhat like a 350, 370 total, and he continued his innings that way. So I really give that innings a 10 out of 10.
again, wait. So, the question that was posed to us, which we'll
Can
debate
be
a
addressed.
fair bit about it in the show. Everybody was stating that Virat 83, oh India are 20 runs short, oh India are 30 runs short.
Someone even said 80 runs.
No, that
80
was
runs above.
Above.
Somehow.
80 runs above. Now everybody was saying Virat is batting for his milestone. Virat is only interested in his 100. I had specifically suggested, and there is no lying or anything in it, you can check the tape. I had said, wait for the match to end. Only then you can have a very holistic picture of what happened. If you have to look at now, no hindsight, no hindsight anymore. Basic common sense. This did not impact India one bit. Kohli's 100 was according to the conditions, and in no way can you say that, oh, this milestone he didn't deserve. He deserved the milestone. India got to a total which, according to I think it was Pradeep Srivalsan who said, they were 80 above par.
Yeah.
It was 80 above par, looking at the capitulation of the South Africans.
You were 243 runs above par.
Yes. 240, I mean, look at the margins. You'd thrashed Sri Lanka by 302 runs. You've beaten South Africa by 243 runs. You've beaten England by 100 runs. Your Sena countries, barring New Zealand, have all been decimated.
You demolished.
Except maybe 50%. Australia also there. You're 2 for 3. You could have been 20 for 4 had Mitchell Marsh not dropped the catch. But you have absolutely clinically decimated every opponent that has come your way in this World Cup, barring New Zealand to a certain extent and barring Australia in that first 10 overs.
And also barring the Netherlands, but that's only because you haven't played them yet.
That's gonna be on Diwali day. What's stopping you from having an early Diwali then? Looking at the way how the Indian cricket
This
team is
bowling
performing.
is.
It's intimidating, yaar. This stuff is just intimidating.
Now it's established. India's own worst enemy can be themselves,
Yeah.
and that is the only way you are losing this. Otherwise, it's 11 zip loading. I can't see any team beating India in the semi-final or in the final. You booked a ticket to Wankhede 99.9%, provided Pakistan don't do anything extraordinary.
Book your tickets for Ahmedabad, 19th November.
That might happen. That might happen.
No, it's happening.
Harshit sir, you're going to Ahmedabad?
If only wishes could be true, but no, we can't go.
Sir will go to Paris.
That's happening.
No, it's not happening.
If that happened, it would have happened a long time.
Yeah, it would have happened.
Well, Paris, we all can go. Let's pool in and go to Paris.
Okay.
Like a Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara moment.
Okay.
So,
You know, Paris is one of the most romantic cities in the world, no offense, but if I have to go there, I'm not going with you.
oh yeah, of course. The married man recently, of course. Why would he want to come with all of us to Paris? So yeah, basically India are in a zone where you can draw parallels with the 75-79 West Indies team, the 2003-2007
Seven
Australian
Australia.
team.
Yeah.
I think this is
the
next
stuff of legend.
level.
This is the stuff of legend.
definitely.
Like, you know, you've seen campaigns, campaigns in the sense you've seen winning runs, and you've seen teams do well at tournaments. But this is right up there when you talk about, let's say, dream runs. Let's say team having a dream run in a World Cup across sports. Let's say, you know, how often will a team have such a run? Let's say even Argentina, the mighty Argentina, lost their first match of the World Cup, losing to Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
They had a great run after that, but look at this Indian team. It's 8 zip for them already, and look at the manner in which that they're going about their stuff right now. No stopping them.
No stopping them whatsoever. And remember, home advantage, you will all say that yes, everybody will dominate at home. But
This is
next level.
you make this Indian team play anywhere right now, and they'll be.
I mean, look at your last 16 ODIs that has happened. You won 14 of them. Only one loss has happened and one no result has happened. You beat Nepal, you beat Pakistan, you beat Sri Lanka twice, you beat Australia twice in the ODI series. You lost only one. That remains your only loss in the last 2-3 months, ever since August. Now here, 14 games, and now you have equaled your best ever World Cup streak. You leveled it, 8. But unlike in 2003, the backdrop of that was you had lost very badly to Australia and Centurion. After that, you stitched 8 very good wins, none of which were thrilling except the Super 6 encounter against New Zealand. But apart from that, you won against England quite comprehensively in 2003. You won against all the others like Zimbabwe,
Sri Lanka, Zimbabwe.
Pakistan. Okay, Pakistan, you may argue against that bowling attack, 6 wickets.
Yeah, but even then, that was, even after Sachin was dismissed,
Yeah.
you had no worry.
You had
The
no
match was already set up. It was a done match.
So, only against Australia you struggled. And India, who knows, maybe now they can do what Australia and the West Indies were doing all these years. It's theirs to lose this World Cup.
And the fact I'm not concerned of the one off day now, because what I've seen in this team is now that they're not getting complacent. Even after dominance and dominance after dominance against good teams, the intensity of the team is right up there when they come out to play again on a fresh day, on a fresh match.
Yep. So, in all certainty, if you look at it, South Africa are again playing at the Eden Gardens. Provided, again, as I said, Pakistan don't do any miracles. So, if basically looking at it, India, South Africa, Australia, top 3 assured, only your 4th spot is a grab between 3 teams. New Zealand, Pakistan and Afghanistan. Now, if you look at India today, what all happened? Rohit Sharma gave you a fast start along with Shubman Gill. With the new ball, it was pretty easy to bat when you won the toss first. But then see, at the toss, what did Rohit Sharma say? It's a bat first wicket. So he knew something that all of the others outside the stadium did not know. Second, run scoring became difficult as the ball became softer and the pitch had dried up. And when night time came in, there was a bit more zip. And that's why you won. You got to a good total. Virat Kohli getting to 49th ODI century, equal with Sachin. And that blitz by Surya and Jaddu ensured you not only got restricted to 270, you reached 326. Those 2 blitzes were important. But once Quinton de Kock fell, it was meek capitulation. South Africa couldn't do anything with the seaming delivery. They play on these conditions and they have been absolutely trounced. Miller, what kind of a shot was that which he attempted to Jaddu? Absolutely
That was just
unnecessary.
finding ways of giving your wicket away.
So sure were the Indian bowlers with their decision reference system. Shami is saying it. There are 3 people saying go for it, go for it. Okay, go for it. Jaddu was confident. Arey, he's out. The sweep shot that
Van der Dussen.
Van der Dussen.
No, Van der Dussen
or
was-
Klaassen.
It was Klaassen. Yeah.
Klaassen.
Klaassen.
Van der Dussen was Chammy's.
Was Shami, yeah. He went for the sweep. Jaddu was saying it's not bouncing over. KL Rahul was a bit optimistic there. He's saying maybe pitching or going. No, Jaddu was saying take it very animatedly. And now it was proven right. So everybody, even every Indian team member is getting the DRS right.
But what have we learned today? Well, let's talk about learnings. Let's say it's been an emphatic victory to say the least. Any learnings, anything new, anything that we've
The
learned?
learning is...
Could be either way, let's say, not just for the Indian team. What have we learned about South Africa? Let's say, Shashwat, if your thoughts we can begin with.
About the Indian team, what I mentioned that I've learned more than learned, what I've noticed today is that after what I previously mentioned, that your intensity isn't going down, and that's the killer instinct and attitude that I'm really liking from the Indian team. One thing I'm pretty sure about is that it's not going to be as dreamy as it is as of now. You are going to get tested at least once in the knockout stages, because at the end of the day it is a World Cup and it's not going to be so nice for you. So that's why I said that I'm not concerned about the one bad half an hour, because I know even if that comes as of now in the tournament, I know this team has that confidence and has been playing such cricket that they will get overcome that half an hour also.
Siddharth, learnings?
It is going to take someone brave to not say that India could be the champions. It's going to take something...
Could not be the champions.
Yeah. It's going to be a brave person to say that India will not win the World Cup 2023 this time around. Okay, fine. There are questions about peaking too early, peaking too late, you have to do it at the right time. All that is conjecture at this point. See, for 3 months now, you have established a winning streak. What's happened? Most parts of the jigsaw puzzle which were missing, and we all thought, oh, India is 50-50 about 4 months before the start of the World Cup. Rest, rotation, player management, workload management and all that. Why? 3 essential players had not yet come back into the Indian cricket team. And that gave you the confidence once they were back. KL Rahul, Shreyas Iyer, Jasprit Bumrah. those three players, when they came back to the Indian cricket team, the jigsaw puzzle was complete in the blueprint for the World Cup. And that is why you see the impact what a Bumrah has. If a Bumrah doesn't get you, Siraj will. If a Siraj doesn't get you, Shami definitely will. Now today, the spinners who were under the shadow of the Pacers for 2 to 3 games, it was their turn to shine today. 5 and 2, 7 wickets between Kuldeep and Jaddu. And on top of that, your batters have shown that they have the depth. Forget Surya Kumar Yadav 25 runs. That was 25 very crucial runs. Forget Jaddu not contributing to the bat. What did he do today? 29 or 16.
Yeah.
So even with 7 batters, your depth is settled. 5 bowlers, your competition is settled. Winning with that mentality backing to your strength. Remember, the teams that have 8 batters, 9 batters, where are they in the competition? England are gone. Australia have somehow clawed their way back into semi-final contention. India have gone back to the old basics in ODI cricket. 7 batters, 5 bowlers. 1 all-rounder amongst them. So, the learning is play to your strengths and play according to the conditions. And remember, now you're going to get one in Bangalore, which is going to be like Kolkata. You're 99.9% playing at the Wankhede, which again, it will be a bat first wicket. It will be a bat first. Then Ahmedabad, the wicket that you'll get in the final. Let's see how it goes. But okay, you may accuse us that we are thinking very far-sighted. But am I wrong in not assuming that this team can go the distance in the final?
I mean, far-sighted, I would say if this was in the early stages of the tournament. Right now, you only have one group stage match left. Really, after that, you're already guaranteed to be playing the semis. You're guaranteed to finish atop the league. Still, you would be looking beyond, and I still understand if the match, our last match was against Australia, England, New Zealand, South Africa, even Pakistan, but it's against the Netherlands. No disrespect to the Netherlands, but Netherlands are playing for nothing, and for that matter, neither India. They're not. They're playing for nothing but to complete the group stage, get their group matches over with, ensure pretty much that they end with a perfect record. And then, of course, they're not going to just have one eye on the semi-finals. They're going to be having all eyes, all sights really on that particular goal. That look, we need to. You haven't made it to the final of an ODI World Cup since 2011.
Yep.
You've not made it to the final of an ICC event since 2017. You've fallen short in the semis on a couple of occasions, and in another occasion, you didn't make it out of your group. Fact is, you have that itch to scratch that despite being the richest cricket nation, one of the most passionate cricketing fan bases, you've not had ICC tournament success, and that is a big blot. It's a blot. You need to correct that, and I think all focus is now going to be quite simply on that, nothing more.
I think the course correction is happening. For all your 10 years of pain, you now are going to essentially win a World Cup undefeated. Essentially. That is a great way of silencing pain for 10 years.
Let's say it's a fitting way of making a comeback, let's say.
Yeah. And how? Remember, you will only join the West Indies and Australia as the only other teams to win a World Cup without losing a single game. And you will be your first, only host, not a joint host, not any other thing, that you'll win a World Cup again. You won it at home. Now people will argue home comfort, but boss, that's how it is. Home,
Nothing wrong with that.
nothing wrong with it. And remember, for 40 years or nearly 36 years, no nation won it at home.
Yeah, 2011 was the first.
That was the first.
Then 2015, then 2019.
Then
So you-
2011 was also you're looking at multiple hosts.
That's true for every other.
Exactly.
And that too, India kind of had some weaknesses. Remember, they collapsed against the same South African team in Nagpur, 9 for 29. Then you lost 7 for 68 against the West Indies. You lost to South Africa. You tied against England.
Exactly.
But then you put up your best in 3 matches. Quarterfinal,
Pakistan,
semi-final,
Australia,
Sri Lanka.
and then Sri Lanka.
So basically, if you look at it, you are looking at a India-Australia final at this point in time. Where's India taking the revenge for 2003? Johannesburg. Somewhere down the line, you have to take the revenge, right? For example, when you beat Sri Lanka in 2011, the revenge for 1996 and 2007 was done.
Even they took the revenge though then in 2014 final.
But still, that was a T20. I'm saying I'm not focusing on T20s. I'm focusing on ODIs. Australia, remember, everybody talks about the 2003 final even now, the heartbreak and everything. This could be that year when that course correction happens. Course correction is happening at every single point in India's campaign, be it in the bowling, be it in the batting, be it in the fielding. India's catching is right up there in the charts, highest. Bowling dismantled opponents so consistently. Batting depth has helped you ensure that you are 8-zip. The biggest learning is that course correction is happening. 10 years of pain, suddenly Kuber ka khazana khul gaya. You got 8-zip. You could have a World Cup, third World Cup title.
Alright, so the Prime Minister has also put out a tweet, I believe.
Yeah, Prime Minister and the Home Minister both have put out a tweet. Where
Prime Minister saying
Modi
that great team effort, and I think he has
perfect gift for Virat Kohli.
Yes.
Even Home Ministers also. And remember, both the Honorable Prime Minister and the Home Minister, maybe the news will not come out now, but surely they'll be there for the final.
Of
If
course,
India
India are playing, if it's happening at the
Definitely.
Narendra Modi Stadium,
Indeed.
you expect the who's who to be there, and
Yep.
who knows if he'll be there. I think the Prime Minister could be visiting,
Yeah.
Now look at this so-called, we are talking about the most intimidating middle order. 13, 22, my 13 plus 9, 22, plus 1, 23, plus 11, 44, plus 14, 58 runs between 5 batters. And this was the same batting unit that was giving you 399, 428, 357, 380, whatnot. Yet today, while chasing, we knew that they would be weak in chasing, but this week I didn't expect it. 83 all out, which makes that Netherlands collapse an anomaly. Against a better bowling attack, they'll fold up for even lesser.
But I think South Africa somewhere will be blaming themselves. Of course, take no credit away from India, but I think there was some poor shot selection as well, especially from Klaasen. So trying to sweep the ball and
Miller, the
Miller-
worst culprit was David Miller.
Miller, of course, goes without saying. Even Bandit Hasan would feel that he could have gotten some bat to ball that was just coming in.
But that was a very good ball. From that length coming in late.
I think he didn't read the length right. That was the
Yeah.
thing. He didn't read the length. He was committed to the shot, but perhaps could have done a little better over there. Not to say that wasn't a wicket-taking ball, but maybe as a batter you would feel I could have done something better. So 3 of the top 5 batters really guilty of giving their wicket away. But kudos to this Indian bowling. Kudos to this Indian bowling. I think now there is a fear factor now in the opposition. Today, when I was seeing South Africa succumb rather or surrender in this match, there were times I was thinking, yes, I think it's now acting on the opposition's mind, because it's no coincidence that it's happening again and again and again. There has to be a fear factor now when you see a Bumrah coming in or a Shami sort of steaming in. Think that's got into the heads of the opposition.
That's what Babuma exactly has said. He has said that we did not adapt to the situations properly, and we might play our semi-final also here.
Very inspiring indeed, because that's a standard cliche every captain says. Oh, we didn't adjust to the conditions. Duh, you fell for 83.
And he also said that Rohit Sharma set it up for India.
Yes. I mean, let's just not look at an isolation that he just made 40. But that 10 overs, 12 overs that were 93 for 1.
Yeah.
That actually gave KL Rahul, Shreyas
Virat
Iyer and Virat Kohli the freedom. Why Virat Kohli could have gotten those extra balls and taken that extra time to get set over there and establish himself is because Rohit Sharma had already done the good work and given Team India that breathing room, let's say.
Yep.
If it wasn't for those quick fire 40 that came in just 24 balls, again Rohit Sharma has just been the perfect leader, and I like what Gautam Gambhir says about him. He's been a very, very good leader, very selfless and very sacrificing as well as a leader, which is a big attribute, and you need a big heart to be able to sacrifice your sacrifice your wicket game in, and he's doing it for the team, not thinking much. If he knows and if he, I think this is very clear now. Even oppositions will know that Rohit will take the attack on, Virat will come anchor, consolidate, and this is what the blueprint of this Indian team is. But even then, even though it's like a known fact now, there's only so much that teams have been able to do in terms of derailing India from that plan is concerned.
Yep. So, if you look at the Indian team, I'm stressing on the word team here because every facet of their play is interlinked. I mean, if the batters are doing well, the bowlers are also chipping in. If the batters are in a bit of trouble, the bowlers are bailing them out. If the bowlers are in a bit of trouble, the batters are bailing you out. Vice versa in that sense. Right from Chennai, you already had, supposing they say, 30-45 minutes of bad cricket, okay? You were 2 for 3 in a chase of 200. Luckily, the score was lesser. Otherwise, in a 250, you could have been maybe perhaps gotten a bit tricky to chase after that. But only 200, 3 down, you had your 30-40 minutes of bad cricket. Okay, that happened in Chennai. Afghanistan game in Delhi, quite flawless. Absolutely no complaints about that. Pakistan game, again, flawless. No complaints about that. Bangladesh game also flawless. No complaints about that. New Zealand, okay, now that was the time. I mean, did New Zealand post the highest total against India in this World Cup among all the teams? Because Afghanistan made 282. How much did New Zealand make?
No, it was less than 280.
It was 280. Maybe it must have been 278 or something in that sense. So
because Australia were 119.
273. Yeah. So it is lesser. Okay.
So Afghanistan 282.
That's the highest on that road in Delhi. So India were stretched to the limit. It was a tricky chase because New Zealand bowled with discipline. New Zealand bowled with panache, and that's why 2 overs to go. That discipline. Another, if they are not collapsed, lost 5 wickets. And they would have gotten 20-30 runs more, India might not have won that game. So New Zealand and Australia presented the only feeble, you may say, resistance that you have. But against England, comprehensive, Sri Lanka, comprehensive, South Africa, comprehensive. These are not test runs win, by the way. These are not margins in a test match. These are margins in a ODI. 100, 302, 243.
It's just getting bigger and bigger.
You know what else?
The margins.
It also highlights is that a lot of these nations have actually moved or gravitated towards T20I cricket, and that's reflecting now in the ODI game as well. If you look at all of these nations, how many ODIs does New Zealand play more often than not? Not that many. Even England have cut down on the number of ODIs because their domestic season has gone longer. You have, of course, the 100 as well as the blast which takes place, and thereafter, of course, England. Whatever else you want to say about them, they play a lot of Test cricket. So they do prioritize their Test cricket and of course the white ball cricket formats which bring in the money, the 100, the blast, and of course T20I internationals. ODIs just don't seem to have that panache about them anymore. South Africa, lest we forget, are the same team that pretty much said chuck it when it came to playing an ODI series in Australia because their new league, the SA20, was starting. So it just goes to show you that a lot of teams have actually now reached that point whereby they're probably not prioritizing ODIs as much. India, to their credit, have played a lot of ODIs, particularly in the last year or so. Yeah, I know 2020, 21 they barely played any, but then, obviously those were years. 2020 you barely played any cricket. 2021 was the year of a T20 World Cup. 2022 was the year of a T20 World Cup. 2023, you go over how many ODIs they played, and it's a lot of ODIs. You started the year, you had a series against Sri Lanka, New Zealand, Australia. Thereafter, you had the IPL. Then you played the WTC. But you had a full series of West Indies, and thereafter you also played Asia Cup and a series against Australia. That is a lot of ODI cricket. So they did ensure that they did their homework and treated. They say that they separated formats. They ensured that they know that T20I is kind of behind the curve right now. So you need to work on that. ODIs, they know their template works, especially in home conditions. So they stuck to that. They played, and yes, it's not like there were no alarm bells. They lost the series to Australia. They looked, at times a bit shaky. Even in the second series, Australia were kind of undercooked, which is why they probably didn't have that. But we kept saying that no, this India team, their problems, this, that. They found another level, and one of the reasons they've done that for me is because they've treated ODIs with respect not only during the World Cup but before it. This South Africa team, great team, no two ways about it, but predominantly players who are suited to T20Is. Same can be said about England. Really, the only team that actually plays ODIs with an aggressive intent right now, I would say, with a consistent basis, Australia. And they're another team who played a lot of ODIs.
And remember, out of the 4 losses that India have had in this year, 3 have come against Australia. 2 in March, 1 just before the World Cup, and 1 incidentally came against the West Indies in Barbados. So, if you look at it, Australia seem to have the necessary goods to beat India. They do have it, but in this game, they were totally blown away. In Chennai, they were blown away. Except for that brief 20 to 30 minute period.
2 for 3. That's
Yeah.
2 for 3.
That's it. That was the only time where Australia had their nose in front. Apart from that, that was the only time India went under pressure. Since then, till now, no pressure whatsoever.
Look at our man over there.
Oh yes, Anirban. Anirban is having a blast there.
He's getting absolutely mobbed by fans who are just
And he's gone. You lost Anirban.
There's Anirban.
Where is he? Oh my god.
So you have that game though, where's Waldo?
Yeah.
You can be playing our own version of it, where's Anirban?
I hope he keeps that earpiece secure. You remember Nikhil lost his earpiece in Ahmedabad.
You know, the excitement is building up for the
Not
for
building,
you
it's
lifting
already
up.
there. It's
There.
big.
This is Kolkata, bro. You don't need not build up. It's already there.
Exactly. Kolkata, you could be playing India Sri Lanka bilateral and there'd be this much excitement.
Yeah.
But this is a big match. Potentially the second last match you're playing of the group stage. Not potentially, it is.
It is.
So, you know, the team are playing so well. Obviously, fans are going to be going berserk.
And look at what has happened. South Africa, who were 2.2 net run rate because of this 243 run loss, has slipped to 1.376.
Look at this beauty, 2.456.
2.456 with India.
Yeah.
16 points, top spot assured.
Yeah.
South Africa will play at the Eden, barring if Pakistan manage to get to number 4.
Yeah, barring a Kudar ka Nizam, they're playing here again.
Yep. So that's the thing. Remember, 9th and 11th. These are the only two vital dates now in this World Cup. Rest of the other games are a sideshow. Afghanistan versus Australia, that's a bit of spice there, but if Australia win, semi-final spot guaranteed for even them.
Yeah.
Then and only then, Afghanistan will then have to rely on New Zealand losing to Sri Lanka, Pakistan losing to England, and Afghanistan beating South Africa.
Correct.
Which on current form, if you look at it, if they play on a similar kind of a tacky wicket in Ahmedabad, it's trouble, even for South Africa. Rashid, Mujib, all the others.
And by the way, South Africa, actually, you know, we were talking about India suffering a loss and it being the worst time. I would say for South Africa, if they lost, say by, 50, 70, 80 runs, wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. But I'm sorry, we made South Africa look like Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
80 or out. While chasing 320
83.
out.
Now that Sri Lanka lost.
Yeah, that's why I started by saying this, that I'm not gonna blame Sri Lanka for what happened to them.
Exactly.
Every team is getting blown away.
Yeah.
Except New Zealand. That's it. Only New Zealand.
Yeah, Australia put a brief resistance, but no trouble. Pakistan blown away. Afghanistan, okay, there was an easy win. Sri Lanka absolutely blown away. Bangladesh, you blew away. England, you decimated. Really, the only team left now is Netherlands, and poor guys, they must be really dreading that of all games has to be their last match.
Their last game.
I mean, on the bright side, they'll be playing in front of a very big crowd because, of course, it's an India match in Bangalore.
Bengaluru.
We know they love their cricket over there. But,
See, Netherlands have got 2 games, one coming up against England. That is essentially a Champions Trophy shootout.
yeah.
If they win that, great. If Pakistan beat England, I don't think they're getting to
England needs at least 4 points to qualify for the
6. Because
Maybe
see,
6.
if Sri Lanka win tomorrow against Bangladesh, the Nagin Derby, then Sri Lanka get to 6. Their Champions Trophy spot.
But then we don't really know what happens tomorrow. The match is in Delhi, remember?
Yeah, that's the thing. As I said, the ICC is monitoring the situation. Like if it's a rain delay or a bad light situation, if the situation doesn't improve 1 point, even 1 point, doesn't matter. Look, Bangladesh will get only 3, so they are anyways eliminated. And they're not beating Australia in the last league game. Come on.
No.
So, only 3 points, and that is why, if you look at it, Bangladesh could very well be not even making the Champions Trophy cut. Sri Lanka could very well seal their Champions Trophy cut just if Netherlands beat England. England and Bangladesh, I think, are the only teams who are out of the reckoning in the
correct.
Champions
Because
Trophy.
Pakistan make it through as hosts anyway.
Yeah, so that's why. So, top 7 plus host
Yeah.
in that way. So, it's not looking good for the bottom 2, but it's looking like a dream for India. Let's hope someone doesn't pinch the Indian cricket team. Let them dream on until 19th. But remember, all the people, let me just tell you, give me a minute on this. All you people saying, oh, we need that one loss, we need this thing, so that we can iron out our deficiencies, please. Think like Australia. winning momentum, winning combination, no team changes. Let's go for it. When did the team make a change except from Dharamshala till now? That same combinations work. You're going to persist with the same combination until the 19th if you make it.
Now this is your 11. Simple as that. Whether
Nothing.
you like it or not, this is your 11. You got to only like the fact that you're getting such big, margins as well of victory.
Yeah.
So just back these guys and.
But actually, if you look at it, it's just been a 0.3 rise for India for 243 run win. For South Africa, it's been a minus 0.9 if you look at it. So, I will say that India are right on top. You've gotten the absolute clarity in your playing 11. Everybody is chipping in. Enjoy the invincibility until it lasts. Because after November 19th, your ODIs take a back seat. You build up for the T20 World Cup.
Even though you will be playing some ODIs in South Africa, I think three of those.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
You're not playing anything more beyond that because after that you've got England in a test series.
Yeah.
Thereafter,
I think you've got Afghanistan.
Yeah, you've got Afghanistan.
Two
Yeah.
matches, I think, against Afghanistan also.
Not two,
No,
three.
it's 3. But are those T20Is?
I think that's T20.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's no ODIs.
I think you're playing
Or
a test
is it
also.
a 3 T20 or a 3 ODI series?
Let me check.
Maybe it's that because Afghanistan are willing to come here at this point. So let's see. So shall we take some questions or you want to add any further inputs?
Nothing more to add, I feel.
Nothing more to add, like MS Dhoni.
Heaped enough praise, I feel.
Yep. So let's take
And if
Ashish.
teams,
Yes, T20Is.
if teams continue to capitulate like this, like what do you even talk about the opposition for that matter then?
Yeah. They're like, in one simple term, they look like the Australian team, the West Indies team of the 1975-79, 2003-2007 series.
See, this team just deserves the World Cup now. Like
Yeah.
you ask any other competing teams also, they'd be like, if this trophy, the actual version of it was to be given to one team, has to be the Indian team. Simple as that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen. It does look really, really good. There's clarity in the team. Everybody's roles are fine. Everybody's chipping in like a well-oiled machine. So let this invincibility continue until 19th November.
And anything can happen.
Ashish Dhar is saying
And
India.
once again, by the way, I have to point out that Ashish Dhar wins fastest finger first.
Fastest finger.
Always.
First. He's winning it.
Always. India performance shows ODI is game of specialists.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but I would say that I think you need to treat ODIs not as an extension of T20Is, but as a format of its own and give it the respect it deserves. That's one thing India have done over other teams, and well, it's reflecting in the results, really, isn't it?
It is. Vishal Panchal from the US. I wish India would have challenged themselves by chasing instead of batting first. Vishal, let us not go to that old school mentality of challenging themselves. Be practical.
Yeah.
If the conditions say that you have to bat first, and if judgment and instinct tells you that, please go ahead with it. When you had experimentation and challenging yourself, you've seen how disastrous the results
No, but you
are.
did challenge yourself in some way. You don't usually bat first. You won the
Yeah.
toss. You opted to bat first. That is a challenge.
You're
and getting
playing
out of the
according. Yeah, you're playing to the conditions.
You're playing to the conditions, and if you were not challenging yourself, you wanted to be in your comfort zone. When you got somebody like a Virat Kohli who has chases for fun or for dinner every day, then you would have wanted to chase over here as well, but you didn't do that.
Exactly. I think that's the other thing which people are ignoring is that it's not really a challenge for India to chase and win. It's not. I know that maybe chasing 350 odd, assuming South
Agree.
Africa had gotten that, would have been a challenge, but I mean, India are a better chasing side. We've all acknowledged that at this point.
I'll say, okay, I agree with the fact, okay, maybe past instances, okay, 15 you lost while chasing, 19 you lost while chasing. But again, there you had certain weaknesses and one team
Yeah.
You
you
collapsed. You collapsed.
Yeah, and one team in 15, I'm saying 15, you had a better team who was going to win the World Cup anyways. You knew it. That was Australia. And by the way, remember Australia, they had that one loss, but remember, they scraped through by 1 wicket against New Zealand. New Zealand managed to win their home game by 1 wicket. That showed that this Australian team was really, really simply magnificent in that sense.
Did
So,
Australia lose to anyone in 2015 in the 2015 World Cup?
New Zealand. Only New Zealand were the undefeated team until the final, when they lost in the final.
To Australia.
Yeah, so I will just say that do not challenge yourself or don't do anything in that sense boss, we have to do this, we have to do that. Why? Work with the formula. If pitch dictates that you bowl second, off to field. If a pitch dictates that you bat first, bat first. That's what Rohit did today. He knew the pitch would get a bit difficult. That is why he chose to bat first. So don't challenge yourself and all that. If semis and finals you lose, that's your bad luck.
Yeah, and simple as that. You play according to the situation at times, and that's what the Indian team did today, as Ashud rightly pointed out.
Play according to the situation.
You play to win, simple as that. At times you're not looking at challenging and all of that. It's not a bilateral after all. And gone that stage, by the way. This was a key match. You were looking at it as 1 versus 2. The second time, by the way, that India had a top of the table clash. Last time around it was New Zealand. Then they were second, and now South Africa. The number 2 team.
So just challenging yourself for the heck of it doesn't solve the purpose.
Yeah.
So simple. Let's take further questions. I'll come to Rohit's quotes a bit later. So
We'll save that for other videos.
we'll save that for the other videos. Yes, rather than saying.
Let's see what other thoughts our family members have.
Lots of thoughts.
Yeah.
GGK is saying that batting deep is right, but Virat should have accelerated in the death overs like he used to do in his prime. Now he plays for
We've had
himself.
this discussion.
No,
Totally
GGK, again, like we
agree.
said,
Disagree. Totally disagree.
like we said earlier as well, you wait and see how South Africa also play out, and you saw what happened. Clearly, it wasn't easy, and if you heard Virat Kohli, GGK, in case you didn't, I'm going to reiterate it for you. Virat Kohli, when he was asked about how he, how he found the conditions over there, he said that the ball was stopping. It was difficult to get those strokes going towards the end, and you saw it wasn't really, something that became easier for anyone. Look at South Africa as the match wore on, not like the batting conditions eased. So yeah, Virat only played to the conditions, and perhaps that's the reason he's been given the man of the match award for the fact that not all batters could get runs on this deck, but he's the only centurion on the day.
GGK again, see, you are saying Virat should have accelerated. How? If the South African bowlers were bowling in the right channels, bowling tight lines to him, what could you do about it? Virat adjusted according to the situation that is there. See, all your thing, what if you had looked at the broader context, always look at the broader context, GGK. I had criticized Virat for his approach in Bangladesh. In that Pune now, that was blatant. Even in Dharamshala, I had said that he deserved to get to that century, but he could have done it in a conventional way, old school, which is successful.
Which is exactly what he did today.
Which is what he did. Now, you're saying 101 or 120, but look at the condition. India won that game, and remember, they were in a far more hopeless situation in Lucknow.
Yeah.
But there, didn't your bowlers do the job for you?
Yeah, that's why I pointed that thing out, that in the England game, you totally did not read the conditions initially, and that might have costed you if the England side would have been England's batting would have been in form. But today, Iyer and Virat did read the conditions and got you to a safe score.
See, if you had done this and India would have lost, then definitely we would have criticized the innings by Virat. Because you would have said, oh, it was 20-30 runs too little. If South Africa would have chased it down, great. Okay, we'll keep this in mind. Okay, supposing Virat has a bad day in the semi-final. He scores like what Yuvraj Singh. What happened to Yuvraj Singh in the 2014 final?
First ball duck.
No, 14 he struggled 11 of 21.
In the semi 20
In the final.
No,
I'm talking about 14 T20 World Cup.
Yeah, he struggled.
There we had the right to criticize Yuvraj Singh. But here, if you are winning, looking at the overall context, this is not the time to criticize Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Yeah. It doesn't mean that we are Kohli fans, we are Viratians or something. No.
Definitely aren't.
Cold-blooded practicality. Accept it.
Turns out we have a new super. Shiv, can we have a look at it? Naval Singh.
Yeah, Naval Singh is saying, if this Indian team does not win the World Cup, it would be a shocker. Totally agree, my friend. This team reminds you of the Australian team of 2003 and 2007, gunning for 11-0, love from the UAE.
Wholeheartedly.
We mentioned about that, Naval, in case you've been following a conversation. We did mention about how good Australia were in those two campaigns and the West Indies.
This team reminds me of the Australian 2003 team. I'll tell you why. Because first game, they were 5 down against Pakistan, but they bounced back to win. India were 2 for 3. and they bounced back to win, and they didn't look back. Okay, although in 2003 Australia had two thrilling encounters, New Zealand and England, they came through in that, their depth helped them through. But here India are just going berserk. The one mini thriller, I would say, New Zealand, New Zealand.
But even that was a mini thriller because after a point it did seem like a 4-1.
Yeah.
It did. 2 overs to go, 4 wickets. You knew the game was sealed. So that's the thing. And any further questions that we can take?
Let's see.
What's
We've
freaking
got
awesome saying?
Freaking awesome
saying, even against Aussies, I don't see them troubling the Indian batting order in these conditions unless our top order collapses. Getting early wickets is crucial to challenge this side in home conditions.
He's absolutely spot on.
Yeah, but I don't know, because if you get early wickets also, you saw in Chennai,
Yeah.
the depth can ensure that you get to a 280, 290 score, and this bowling attack can defend any total.
But it'll be very interesting now because back then when that happened, you had somebody like a Hardik, you had an extra batter. Let's say now you're a batter less.
bowlerless, you mean?
You're a bowler less.
You're also a batter less in that way.
You had 8 batters at that point also, if I recall.
Yeah.
If memory serves me right, because you were playing with Shardul.
That's Shardul.
Yeah, but I think even now, I think they'll be okay. But again, that's the thing. I think the team looks a little more settled now and more prepared for those situations knowing that it's going to happen. Previously, I think they'd back themselves and say, you know what, that's not going to happen. But when it happened, they were caught unawares.
And now, I think, first 2 matches, the Indian team was just let's say flexing itself and, just getting warmed up. Now this team isn't just warmed up, it's red hot at the moment and now they're really truly enjoying that cricket.
Yeah.
Look at it, every match there's something for someone. The batters are getting runs, the bowlers are making it a habit. Again, by the way, 10 wickets. So now of 80, you've taken 76 wickets.
Jadeja till now didn't have a standout performance, like he did not have a 50 or a 5 wicket haul to his name, so even he has joined the party.
Yep,
Everyone's
he's there. So, Shayan Banerjee, why are we all so batter obsessed? You never had a jersey of Bumrah or Shami or Kuldeep in your studio. Shayan Banerjee, the names that you mentioned, wherever we get them from, it's all finished. We couldn't order. All were sold out because of crazy Indian fans.
But like we always say, we're always up for gifts. So yeah, please send across a jersey in case you've got a spare one. We'll make sure that we.
It's over. Try getting it.
Yeah.
We are not paying huge amounts for a jersey. Please. We are also constrained by budgets. So
Shan says that the Indian batting still hasn't really been tested. If Rohit and Kohli are out early, then only we'll know how India is. I mean,
that already happened.
No, I mean, to be fair, Australia, Kohli was still there.
Kohli was still there. Yeah. Kohli
but-
bailed you out. But how often is it going to happen that both don't fire? Like it'll probably be that 1 in 5 ODIs or 7 ODIs. And that also.
That is
happened
what
in the
he's
Champions
concerned about.
But I think now.
Yeah, but that can be said for 2 main batters of any side, na?
Yeah.
You're like today, if Quinton and Markram, if you were to say, then what they would have also struggled.
And that's what happened.
That's what
Exactly.
They didn't. Yeah.
And that is the situation if you look at it. So see, yeah, you're right that not a single match has happened where both have failed.
Yeah.
You hope that doesn't happen, but what happens?
I think they have the depth to cope.
Adjust and have the depth and move on, my friend. It could happen in the
Now
final.
Shreyas has been firing since 2 games. KL has fired.
KL has done well. Even
Surya.
Sky has given you cameos. We know what
Jaddu's
Jadeja can
doing
do with the
well.
bat.
So why not? I mean, look, it could happen in the final, but India might still win.
And when Rohit and Virat get out, you have Gill.
Exactly.
So
Even he has done well.
don't worry. Stop worrying. This is not the 90s.
Don't worry, be happy.
Yeah.
Simple.
This is
And
not
wait
the
for the
90s.
90s.
Yeah, this should actually be, the motto of the cricket fan right now. Just the tagline one should stick with of the Indian cricket fan. Don't worry, stay happy, enjoy the cricket. 19th, be ready for a party.
Yeah.
Hachi.
Yeah. 15th, that will be the first major obstacle because
No one's partying on 15th. Everyone's partying on 19th.
No, we are.
19th,
We will party on the 15th.
yeah, I mean, see, you overcome a major obstacle for 8 years if that happens. Because see, 15, 19, that's where you lost.
Yeah.
17, you lost in the final. But then see, there you won't party if you lose. So party one day at a time, and that's the way.
More
So,
questions, any?
any other
Can
further
scroll down a little
questions if we can get it?
Take 1-2 more and we can call it a night.
Mostly the same.
Piyush Nandre is saying that
Are we just going to
ignore what?
Sachin's 154 ODI wickets doing 2 5-wicket hauls, comparing Sachin versus Virat.
Yes, Piyush Nandre, yes we are, because we're comparing them as batters. Also, you have to remember that as much as we say that Kohli plays in an era where batters are given plenty of advantages, Sachin played in an era where part-time bowlers could thrive.
Yeah.
Now with the power play rule whereby you're only allowed 4 batters, 4 fielders outside, part-time bowlers are pretty much dead.
Yes.
Every bowler, by the way, now who bowls in even ODIs is a regular bowler in across formats.
Yeah.
You've seen, I'll give you an example, a Travis Head bowls across formats.
Correct.
He has bowled in tests as well. A Joe Root bowls
Joe
across
Root, exactly. I was
formats.
coming to
A Liam
Root.
Livingston bowls across formats. There's no such thing as a
Yeah.
part-time bowler anymore. So yes, I know Sachin Tendulkar, the bowler, severely underrated, severely underrated. But it's not. We're not bringing that into the conversation.
Yep, we are, and yes, I remember that match very well. I was doing ball commentary in that, so I know. It was a wide delivery, and the trivia that Shivan's pointing out is Virat Kohli took a wicket of the 0 ball that he bowled because it was a wide
ball,
Yeah.
Stumpy.
Wide, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you also know that a hat trick has also been taken of 2 balls? 2 balls, 3 wickets in a Champions League match. T20,
Oh.
Champions League T20. So, it was Isuru Udana, the bowler, Sri Lanka bowler. 2 wickets, 1 wide stumping. So, 3 wickets. So, yeah, Kevin Peterson, a very filthy ball down the leg side. Peterson lost balance and only affected the stumping.
Okay, I know you would have spent 1 hour talking about India's victory.
Yes.
South Africa. Even though this is an English show, but I'm most reminded of a Hindi,
Kahavat.
not kahavat,
Dialogue.
but a phrase, which is like, "Ye mazak ho raha hai." I mean, it's actually mazak ho raha hai, like for every other team.
So-
It's as if like it is a group of professionals versus a bunch of amateurs. I mean, that's credit to the Indian bowlers. They have been so dominant. They have been so good with their skills that they have made batting lineups, strong batting lineups, look like novices.
Yep.
It seems like a no contest. I mean, there was we spoke about how Jasprit Bumrah and co made the English batting lineup Shami that day with Ben Stokes. We talk about it, how he made him look like a novice. I'd want to take you to today's game. Look at that opening burst, even though he did not get his wicket, but look at that opening burst by Jasprit Bumrah
To Vander
Quinton de
Duson
Kock.
also.
Quinton de Kock. Why I'm saying Quinton de Kock? Because Quinton de Kock was their opener. Quinton de Kock was the guy that was giving them those starts. Quinton de Kock we knew would be the guy who, if he gave them the start, could take them to a victory. He made him look like a novice. I mean, you see that over that he bowled to him. After which time, Quinton had to take that pressure off. So what Bumrah actually reminds me is of, what would happen with Sunil Narine in KKR. Like he would bowl all the tough overs, batters would say, let's play him out. Everyone else will pick up the wickets. Same with sometime Rashid, it happens in IPL. He's the one that everyone's careful against. Even though Rashid is so good that even when they're careful, he picks up wickets. But you're more careful against him and the others end up picking wicket. And I think one of the most brilliant performances this World Cup is that of Jasprit Bumrah. Will not reflect in his wicket column, but every game he's the one who makes everyone look like a fool, and then the others. I mean, again, I'm not taking anything away from a Siraj, from a Sami, and today Jadeja. Of course, all of them have that skill, but that kind of pressure that Bumrah is putting is incredible. He is one unsung hero, and one more unsung hero. I don't know whether you spoke about him or not, because I know there would have been a lot of discussion on Virat Kohli, Jadeja, the 2-star performance. Rohit Sharma.
We did.
Big, and it's not just Rohit Sharma, the batter, which everyone's going to talk about.
The captain.
But look at Rohit Sharma, the captain. Bang on, spot on. Today, we kept saying that he should bring in a spinner early. Boom, got in a spinner early. That day, in a different scenario at Wankhede, did not bring the spinner.
Yeah.
Kept at with his fast bowlers, even though his fast bowlers are good today, but a spinner. So he's been bang on with his captaincy. He's been bang on with his batting too. Of course, sacrificing everything. I'm not saying that anyone who gets 100 is playing differently, and Rohit needs more credit because he's sacrificing. But all I'm saying is that everyone has to perform a role. So if Virat is going to perform the role of a 100 maker, century maker, somebody also needed to perform the role of a Rohit Sharma, and every role is important. If everyone tried to perform the same role, if everyone tried to be like Rohit Sharma in this batting order, that would have been disaster. If everyone tried to be like Virat Kohli also in this batting order, probably that could have not really worked for the Indian team. So it's वही मजाक हो रहा है के अलावा that जाने भी दो यारो
Yes.
where there is that
Mahabharat scene.
where he says ये क्या हो रहा है,
ये क्या हो?
he keeps saying it is actually
Dhritarashtra was
it's a
saying
joke.
that, yeah. It is
Looks
a
like a
joke.
joke.
I mean, I was just telling them that don't be fooled by the victory march. We're not talking about a test match. 100 runs, 243 runs, 302 runs. You see it all in a test match. This is an ODI.
I heard somebody say upstairs that India aren't being good hosts right now because that's not how you treat guests.
No, I saw something else. It said India is actually giving them money's worth to the fans because they're showing them a T20 game when Rohit and co bat it's T20. Then they show them a one-day game when Virat come to bat with KL Rahul.
And the
then they show a
bowlers.
test match when the bowlers come. So in the price of one ticket,
You get
they're
all three
showing
formats.
T20, one-day and test match. All
Well said.
together. The
Well
Indian
said.
team is
Wait, and domination is muft. That's
Yeah.
how it is.
मजाक तो चलिए.
मजाक है, क्या मजाक चल रहा है?
But see, I'll go back to that point that this South African team, I did not think that they are the second best team, honestly, because they have a clear weakness. Now it's been exposed even more. I mean, now no more you can say it's coincidence or by chance. Them chasing is their biggest problem.
Yeah.
3 games now, you've lost 2 and lost 1-2 minnows in Holland, Netherlands, and one in like the most convincing fashion for the team that won, obviously unconvincing for them against India, and the one that you won was like you were huffing and puffing versus Pakistan. So that is a weakness.
Skin of their teeth. Yeah, they almost lost that match. Had it
And
not been
umpires
for that-
called DRS.
Exactly. Had it not been for that freak DRS, let's
Yeah.
say.
But see, DRS, that's the rule. Live with the rule.
Yeah.
Can't help it. So-
But then that's what now someone should catch hold of Flynn and ask him, what the hell were you thinking?
Bad.
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't have been in the position that they are, New Zealand, at the moment. All they needed to do was bat first. They said, no, South Africa, you are doing very well batting first. So why don't you bat first and hammer us every part of the ground? Makram enjoys that. Klaasen enjoys
Wander
that.
Dewson in
Everyone enjoys that. Make merry, get as many runs. See, South Africa will make the semis. But I would be very surprised, no matter the condition, that the team that wins the toss, if South Africa win, that's another matter. But if the opposition wins the toss, I'd be very surprised that they, don't ask South Africa to chase. I'd be very surprised.
Exactly. I mean, see, South Africa, now the context with which they have lost, now it's come at the worst time possible. They are facing a tricky encounter against Afghanistan.
Yeah.
They could face Australia in the semi-final. Now, if you lose from that point on, this is called serious dent in momentum.
Yeah,
and
and
sets them up for a
confidence.
joke. Sets
Again.
them up for a joke yet again.
Yet again.
They've been so dominant, mostly barring that one loss before this game. They lost to the Netherlands. Other than that, they've looked phenomenal. Now they've been absolutely hammered by India, and if it really reaches that point that Afghanistan can somehow cause some sort of an upset. And again, if I'm Afghanistan, I play to their weakness and say, you know what, gents? win
Yeah,
that first.
that's what. They're playing in Bengaluru, right?
No, South Africa, Afghanistan is Ahmedabad.
Yeah, so if they end up bowling first and put them under pressure.
Remember, Ahmedabad as a chasing venue is quite good.
Yeah, but I mean, what if they get a wicket that's slightly sticky? Then suddenly Afghanistan's pace spinners come into play.
Yeah.
You don't know. And again, South Africa with the mindset they are in, ripe and susceptible for a
So
joke.
no problem. It's India Afghanistan then in the
15th.
semi-final.
In Wankhede.
Yeah, unless Australia do the unthinkable and lose to both Bangladesh and Afghanistan,
Correct.
then it's India Australia at the Wankhede. Simple. Pakistan can't get to 12; they can only get to 10. So that's why let's see how it goes. Now, Sak is saying though, New Zealand would be dangerous for India if they reach the semis. Do you think the same? No, not this Kiwi team.
I don't think any team is doing
Yeah.
this for India.
If it was a neutral venue, I would have said yes. But since it's in India, no. I have maintained from day one. If it New Zealand versus India in the semi-final or in the final, India is winning it hands down because I don't think this New Zealand team has the capability to beat.
But
India.
this New Zealand team ran India very close.
Yeah.
It was any team
yeah.
that has pushed India in this tournament, I repeat,
Yeah.
Any team that has pushed India close in this tournament is New Zealand. No other team. Not to an extent,
Australia
you can say-
Australia
yeah,
to
but
an
but they
extent.
won then handsomely. Yes, I know that drop catch will come in, but despite that, they won handsomely. Same with every other team: South Africa, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. Pick any team. New Zealand was the only game that till the end it was topsy-turvy. At one stage you thought, India started well, they lost early wickets. Then when Rachid Ravindra was having that, knock, you thought they'll get 400 or whatever. So you thought New Zealand are favourite. Then India came back, bringing New Zealand down. Then you thought middle, when it was mid-innings, 50-50. Then India, didn't start very well. And you thought, oh, again, New Zealand will have that. Then Virat came together. So you thought, so only game where they were topsy-turvy. Tell me one other game where you had doubts, 50-50%, oh, this might win, or any part of the situation. Every other game, they have led from the front and never fallen back. Only team that struggled you is New Zealand, by the way.
Even there.
But now New Zealand on the same team because now injuries. Look what's happening now without, let's say,
A Ferguson.
Now everyone's back. Now Ferguson is available. They did
Yeah.
not play because
Yeah.
of the spin bowling option. Williamson has come back. Chapman has come back. So now there's no issue.
but last two matches again depleted side.
No, last game they had full
No,
strength,
I
right?
think
and they got
Sodhi
they got
they-
400 runs.
The problem
what I'm
is-
saying is the same team which got just now 400 runs where Pakistan batted well. It was a belter of a track, but we all know from where the game finished. At that stage, it could have gone either way, right? So
See, the problem with New Zealand now, their bowling is taking a nosedive. That's the problem. You looked at, okay, depleted, argue, yes, fine. Players are coming back in, but the players who are coming back in are not in rhythm.
But doesn't New Zealand always surprise us when they are down and out?
We hope so.
We never
But I think
count them in.
the surprise element ended in 2019. You're not seeing any further
No, I remember
surprises.
we even before the World Cup, lots of people didn't keep them in the top 4.
That was because the tendency for them to cluster collapse in any particular aspect. Look at the last 3 games where they lost. They had conceded 25 overs 200. They conceded over 370 in against South Africa. They conceded 390 against Australia. So against all the teams, it is a nosedive that New Zealand are doing at this point. So that's why I don't see their bowling standing up to the Indian batting at this point. So Naval Singh, what's his birthday today? Happy birthday, Naval! Wow,
birthday.
what a day to share his birthday with Virat. By the way, it's even my sister's birthday as well, sister-in-law. It's November 5, so
it is my wife's birthday.
yes.
And I gave you the chocolates. Did you get it?
No, I think Shivam finished Naval.
Yeah. He did.
It is also who else you said? Some other famous personalities. I'll try. Atya Shetty. Yeah. Somebody was telling me today. Atya Shetty is also.
Of course he
Nice.
knows.
Yeah.
Of course, he would know. Yes. Okay, so wishing him on his birthday and wishing the team good luck for the World Cup. Absolutely, my friend.
Oh yeah, Naval, you share your birthday with Virat Kohli. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. As a cricket fan, what else could you ask for?
Exactly.
Like my claim to fame is I share my birthday with the greatest of them all, Sir Brian Charles Lara.
I share my birthday with Pigeon, Glenn
Pigeon,
McGrath.
that's a good one.
Ah,
I
yeah.
love Pigeon.
February
One of my
9.
favorite bowlers all
Yeah,
time.
mine
All
too.
time.
Yeah.
My
All time.
birthday, Sachin batted for the first time on my
No,
birthday and the
no,
last
don't
time
change.
also.
That doesn't count.
Don't change the goalpost.
Yeah.
Name the cricketer or a sports star. I can name one
Then
more.
it's nobody.
On the same birthday, David Beckham.
Oh yes.
X.
Anyone know 4th July?
4th July is American independence.
That's all right.
MS Dhoni.
MS Dhoni is not 4th July. 7th.
7th, right?
Gavaskar is 10th. MS Dhoni is 7th.
Ganguly is
Ganguly
9th.
8th. So
Ninth you need. Ninth, whosoever plays cricket, ninth's a birthday, you become
In our team, who shares a birthday on April 24th?
No one.
No
No
one.
one.
No one.
Mine, I think, the only one I know, and I haven't really done much research beyond, Andrei Shevchenko. Same birthday. Only one.
Shevchenko. Okay. Ukrainian legend.
Yeah.
And AC Milan legend.
And currently the manager of the national team as well.
Andriy Shevchenko. Good player.
Phenomenal guy.
Yeah, so any further comments, guys? Or should we call it a night? We got other things to do as well. Virat is the player of the match. Rohit has spoken a thing about how did they approach this game. Virat's knock, he's spoken about. We'll bring you all that. So I think we didn't take another super chat. I see a dot.
No,
Or maybe that was
Naval.
Okay. So India now play directly on Diwali.
1 week.
1 week from now.
I want to know
Is it coming
why
down?
is there a 1 week gap?
Yeah. Blame the ICC and BCCI for it. Why a 1
Why
week
is
gap?
there a 1 week gap between now? The momentum is building. To give you a 1 week gap to this Indian team, and the next game coming up is also.
Netherlands.
Exactly.
In
Already.
Bangalore.
The most exciting match.
Is it guaranteed India now top?
Yeah.
They're top.
Anyway,
Yeah.
they're-
Top.
No one else can.
No one else can. 16.
Because
No other team can get to
South Africa
16.
can only get to 14 now.
Yeah. So India guaranteed top spot.
Yeah.
In all likelihood, then they are playing in Mumbai unless Pakistan.
Unless Kudrat ka nizam. Only way.
Qudrat ka nizam.
Which might not happen. Because
whatever.
And it might not happen, but might
because,
also happen. No?
because
No.
130, that is the margin of victory that
Yeah.
they should have
But
against.
no, but that
if it's
is-
only one run.
But that is if New Zealand win, New Zealand can lose and it's simple. No?
Or it can be
So
washed
I'm
out
saying
also.
It's not that far fetched.
Yeah.
Had it been a situation where no matter what New Zealand does, you still have to win by 130 or whatever, then I would have said no, boss. It's going to be a miracle.
Yeah.
So might as well pack up your bags and go. I'm saying on a given day, never know. I agree that it'll maybe a 70-30 contest between New Zealand and Sri Lanka when it starts. That's a fair assessment, I'm guessing. But there's still that 30% chance.
There is 70% rain on that day. It can also be a washout.
Oh, that will not help Pakistan.
At all.
That will now.
It will.
It will
Actually,
help
how?
Pakistan. They'll get 1 point
Only
and
a
then
simple
Pakistan
single
wins
point,
and 2 points. They'll straight away.
Only a
lose.
simple win.
Yeah.
Because New Zealand will then get a 9.
Yeah.
Pakistan
Yeah.
know they can win by even
Yes.
1 run, 1 wicket, and they'll get 10.
They'll get 10.
So see,
Yeah.
you never know.
And remember, that is a day-night game. And
Yeah.
night, you
Yeah.
get
Rain can start in the evening also.
5 p.m. onwards.
So a lot
yeah,
of chances you will be playing on 16th.
Yep. So Sri Lanka could potentially have just 2 points from 2 weather interruptions. One in Bangalore and one tomorrow in Delhi. Whether we'll have the game tomorrow in Delhi, that's a big question because the ICC has said monitoring it according to weather conditions like bad light or anything. If it's unsafe for play, no play.
Match called off.
Match called off. Yeah. Vrishabh, that's what Bangalore weather update. 70% chances of rain.
By the way, I want to know one thing, and that will be an interesting debate, and I want not a debate, but want all your opinions. And I'm not saying it because India is leading, but what about? I like this format, but I'm saying how about having a World Cup like based on league stages, which is if you imagine you've played 9 league games, you won all, you get 18 points. And then you have one bad day and lose a game and you lose the World Cup. Instead, why have the semis and the finals? Because you're having round robin, had it been groups, I understand, right? Because you don't play against each other, so you need to have semis, you need to have finals, and that's what happens in football wherever, because not
Everyone's
team plays.
playing everyone.
But wherever there's every team playing every other team, like the English Premier League or La Liga or wherever, or the NBA,
Actually,
the NBA has the playoffs. Yeah.
East versus West.
Yeah, and then it go to the final. But in their case, even those playoffs are best of 7.
Yeah.
Right. So
Best of
enough.
7, yeah.
I mean, it ensures that the better team will go through. Right. Multiple games. If you're having like a round robin, imagine a team that's beaten every other team and is the most dominant. You know which team I'm talking about. And if it was to have one bad day, so it could be any other team that's performed average through the tournament and have qualified with 8 points or something like that, and then just have 2 good days. I mean, it's happened.
It's happened.
So what I'm
19.
saying, what do you make of this suggestion that in a round robin sort of a setup, the winner at the end of the league stage is the winner, whereas second is second?
You're killing the beauty of sport with this suggestion.
We're killing it.
You're killing it.
Yeah.
See,
Just
Just
be-
have their own charm, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because India are on top.
then don't have round robin. Then start from knockouts. Knockouts.
Then you should say that India are in 8th. Oh, they only have 8. No, yaar, you don't deserve to be in the knockouts.
No, but honestly, I do prefer not this idea, but I would prefer a split group. I think that makes knockouts more interesting then.
which will happen in 2027.
Obviously, because they have 3 host nations.
14 teams are there, so 7 in each group.
So you're saying pretty much the T20 World Cup format.
Yeah.
That I actually no, but why that happened? You know why all these formats changes because of that 2007 World Cup,
Yeah, absolutely.
which was also an extreme because you had 4 groups, and you know that was also extreme where one bad day can then knock you out. Happened with India.
Yeah.
Though
But
India
India
had 2 bad days. Yeah.
Yes.
They had 2 bad days, so it can knock you out.
But you'll see that even in the T20 World Cup next year. 20 teams. 20 teams.
Yeah, with 20 teams you can't have a round robin.
No,
Yeah.
it'll
Four
be
groups
4
of
groups
five.
of 5.
You can't.
Yeah, 5 groups of.
But in
No,
an
no.
ODI World Cup, where you've only got 9 teams, make it a round robin. Whichever team finishes on top wins.
No, you're killing the beauty of the sport.
Yeah.
Just because New Zealand dumped India out in 2019, in hindsight, you're saying that.
No, also I don't want to jinx it. I'm saying, by the way, a lot of people are saying bad day, bad day, bad day. The way this Indian team is playing, I seriously don't see them having a bad day. Honestly, I'll tell you how a bad day happens. A bad day happens when there's one visible weakness. Okay, like say your top order is not performing, it's your middle order that's saving you game after game. So you know someday even that will not work. Or your top order gets you run, but middle order is non-existent. So you know how long will the top order keep getting you runs? One day you would fail. Or your fast bowlers are doing very well, but they're covering up for some poor spinners as well, right? Because they end up doing maximum damage. So you know the spinners go for a few runs, you're managing. Or your spinners are the ones that do everything, and so they kind of cover up. So when you are plugging a hole in a campaign, any team that's doing that because of others doing extra work, that's the team that can have a bad day. But a team like India where there is no visible weakness, I don't see them having a bad day.
But I feel in the remaining of the World Cup, it's not going to be as dreamy as it has been till now. You might have that bad 15-20 minutes in the semi-final or final, but I think that you have that confidence now. After the Australia game, you were 3 down and you made that comeback. So I feel you have that much firepower in your team that you will make a comeback from there also. That is a very big difference that you have from 2019 to now also.
True.
That's the correct.
Bad day, anyone thinks?
Even if it comes, you'll win.
I think you already had your bad day.
Yeah, maybe you had
Not a bad day.
Australia 2
for 3.
You won't have a bad day, you will have a bad 15 to half an hour.
So again,
That's
you
enough
don't
to
have-
make it a bad
Okay,
day.
your last bad day, if you have to look at it, was 2019. That was ODI cricket. Last bad
Days I've
day.
seen many. After that,
Many.
WTC final. I mean,
By the logic of say teams finishing on top, India shouldn't be defending champions now. 19 they finished on top of the league.
Adelaide T20 World Cup was a bad day. WTC final was a bad day.
2021.
A lot of bad days.
2023 WTC 1 bad hour
Yeah.
because of cloud
11th
and you dropped your best
11th of
bowler.
July.
इंडिया में कभी बैड डे आते नहीं है 1-2 घंटे ही आते हैं.
But that 1-2 घंटा becomes a
एक
bad
दो
day.
घंटे
ना?
में तो फिर बहुत कुछ हो ही जाता है.
Bad day ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. Full day you will keep getting धुनाई. Bad day is always.
That happened once
15-20 minutes.
in 2000.
that is enough.
Centurion.
No, I would. Again, maybe that bad half hour has happened. 2 for 3, we all had our hearts in our mouth. Let's be honest about it. We gave India a chance, but we knew that this is now going to be a grind for India to come out of this situation. Maybe it's past
But
us.
the runs were
We're just not
very-
acknowledging it.
But
Why
the-
do we want ourselves to be in a pit? Let's say. Maybe that one bump you've just.
I can understand.
There
I
will
mean,
be 2 bumps though.
yeah.
There's nothing to suggest.
See, I can understand the fatalistic attitudes that are there. 90s, we have suffered a lot in it. 2013 till now, we have had a lot of heartbreaks. I can understand the fatalistic attitude that prevails. But be positive. It's more than your blood group. You have to be positive in life. In
Mine's
that
all
sense.
positive anyway. So.
Yeah, I may be, so that's
I'm
why.
also positive.
Hey, be positive. So that's why your bad hour is done.
I'm also positive.
Shashwat is like, I don't know what my.
But he didn't specify which positive.
No,
Nowadays, just
be
positive
positive.
is also bad, by the way.
And be positive.
You be positive. So,
Everyone's positive.
Yeah.
yeah.
See, everyone's positive.
Negative is rare.
Shivam
Negativity
had to
is
check
rare.
his blood group on his ID.
No, but it's a serious thought, and even though I think I was the first one to say that I got trolled also that Australia could be that tricky opposition. You don't want to face them. Now as things stand, unlikely you are getting them in the semi-finals. India are topping. I don't see Australia finishing 4th.
Yeah.
So you're not playing Australia in the semis. earliest you'll face them. If you qualify for the final and Australia qualify for the final, then the earliest you face will be Australia. But I will like to slightly change my opinion on Australia, which my opinion on Australia remains that this is a team that has the gumption to beat any other team, has that firepower. I agree on that, but I think that what you really fear about this Australian team is their batting, not so much their bowling. Their bowling is going, but what I was fearing and what most people fear is the fact that their bowlers may concede 330, but that Australian batting lineup on a day, if they go mad, can chase anything, right? But now with the way I'm watching this Indian bowling lineup, I am beginning to believe that even that Australian batting lineup will not be able to chase down 330 against this Indian.
Right now, as
I'm not giving them.
I'm not afraid. Bring on Australia. Bring on
Bring on
whosoever. If you
Bring
are
on
there,
anyone.
you have to be like brash about it and just be confident about it. The mentality, the Australian mentality, we touched upon that about an hour back or so. And if you are let's say on song, if you're in red order, when is it there's only so many times, let's say in a cricket calendar year or in a spell of about 3-4 years, let's say, that you can look at the opposition in the eye and say, okay, come on, right now you're just so good that every department's working. Why not? You've got to be so confident. You should be ready to play oppositions anytime. Anyone, just place your finger. Okay, chalo.
But I do consider that Australian side as lethal as India is right now in knockouts, because when you see someone like a Steve Smith, David Warner, who have troubled you in knockouts previously 2015, so that does scare me.
That was a different Indian team. This Indian team is different, boss.
Yeah.
I am saying I agree with your batting lineup, and I was the same opinion.
Yeah.
Now when you're seeing this Indian bowling lineup, I do not see any batting lineup, including that Australian batting lineup, make merry against them.
Yeah,
They will also struggle. They can get, but I think, okay, now just compare the batting lineups. I think I'll put them at par. India and Australia, right? But now compare the bowling lineups. There is a huge difference between the Australian bowling lineup and the Indian bowling lineup. So put them head to head. I see India far superior.
You've taken 76 of the 80 wickets you could have taken.
But I haven't seen this batting. I do believe that they are in top form and everything, but I still haven't seen them this way in a knockout yet. But I have seen the Australian side, so that is just that little edge. That's why I'm still going to give it to Australia, because I haven't seen the Indian team doing that well in the knockouts as of now.
Yeah, but we haven't seen this Indian team do this well at all. I've never seen. By the way, dare I say, and I'd like to know you guys in your opinion. I do not remember. I remember from '87 clearly every World Cup, and also. 83, I did a lot of research since I wrote the book. So from 83 onwards till this, I remember very clearly. And then 79, 75, I've read about. So I know that the 79 West Indian team was outstanding. So if you'd ask me two most dominant World Cup campaigns, I'll pick the 79 West Indies and 2007 Australia, right? The most dominant campaigns that I saw while I was in the West Indies, 2007, I covered it, saw them closely. Maybe to an extent 79 West Indies, but I'll still put 2007 Australia number one in terms of the dominance. I was there covering that in the West Indies, but even that team did not dominate that tournament like India is doing this tournament. There has been no country that's even coming close. Again, I'm not saying that this, so don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this Indian team is better than that 2007. I'm not saying it because that Australian team were dominant for a long time and they won everything. So of course, overall, I'm not saying, the best cricket team assembled. No, maybe that Australian team was, maybe the West Indian team was. I'm saying if I just restrict myself to a World Cup campaign, just one World Cup campaign, and I remember the league stages that Australia played there, and going forward from them, I think Sri Lanka ran them very close.
No, hardly. 7, no one ran them close.
Yeah. There was one game. I'm saying, you seeing India's victory margin 243 today, 302 the other day. No team has been so far ahead. As I'm saying, the closest that I'm trying to hold on to some breadcrumbs, and the closest I found was the New Zealand game. There has been no game where you've actually felt that anyone. I'm saying in terms of dominance, that team won everything. I agree.
Yeah. They'll match up to 7. India.
No, they've been more dominant.
Yeah.
I'll take out the scorecards. You look at the scorecards in that game, more dominant. Of course, the bigger matter is that team, of course, won the semis and the finals also. This team hasn't done it. So, not. But I'm saying till now, till the group stages of that World Cup, compare it to the group stages now, I can't remember any team not having any trouble at all. Like no game, no situation, nothing. They've like streamrolled the other side. Yeah? Look at the victory margin. As I said, shuru mein what is the first? Mazak ho raha hai. Like it's like, it's like
The 2003 Australia side was not dominant. They had 3 close games there.
yeah. No. I only am taking 2007, but I'm saying even there you won each game, but there would have been situation. I'll go back and say, but there would have been situation where other teams ran you close. They would have been tough. Here it's nothing. No match, no comparison. No one is even like coming close. To have reached the crazy level where cricketers are saying ball change ho rahi hai now. No, because it has.
Oh God.
It has.
I wonder what the theory for the day would be now. Now again, we've seen a team
Ball
not
change ho rahi hai. They would say.
There is a honing device there.
Exactly. Today you'll hear something like remote control. Dravid was controlling the ball.
Yeah. The pitch was different and all that
Which
kind of.
was different.
Yeah.
It was
Kind
weirdly
of.
sticky.
Kind of different.
Yeah.
To the though it has been a sticky pitch at the Eden this World Cup. This may have been a bit more sticky than others. But if it was, then I want to go back to everyone. I'm sure you must have discussed. Want to go back to everyone who may have. And there was a massive social media trend where people were trolling Virat Kohli today. I now want you all who said that to go back and see how difficult this pitch was to bat on. Apart from the skills of the Indian bowlers, it wasn't a good pitch to bat on. By the way, you know who's acknowledged that? Rohit Sharma.
Yes.
He has come out and said that now you look at it, that Virat Kohli 100 in those conditions, because I'll tell you what, even Virat Kohli, and he's no, dasher, we all agree, he's an accumulator, you'd say that. But when he gets hundreds, he reaches a 100 strike rate, 110 strike rate easily. Why? Because that's his template, that's it. But that today he could not. It's not that because a lot of people pointing out he's going for the 100. Maybe because the conditions were tough, and now you can see it. That acceleration which he would get after his 50 sometime to take his strike rate to 100 could not happen.
Yeah.
If you saw, he was struggling to hit Shamshi. It wasn't that he wasn't trying. He was struggling to hit him. And Shamshi also smartly just, was targeting his pads, just bowling there and there. But all I'm saying is that it was a tough pitch to bat on, especially against spinners, which is why that strike rate was there. Now it puts into perspective that his knock and how tough it was and how important it was on the occasion. On other day, if South Africa batted well, who knows? They could have ran you close, and then you would have thanked Virat Kohli's 100 even more. Today the bowlers just steamrolled them, so you're not looking at it. But look at how much Klaasen is your best player of spin. So on, you saw how they were struggling. Markram is a very good player of spin. These conditions.
All blown away, and it wasn't that South Africa team that had intimidation factor. Really it didn't. That's why I said 326 was a good score. More than enough. 80 runs over par. 243 runs over par. So Vishal Panchal is like saying, I prefer IPL format. First and second spot play qualifier, and if they lose, they play against winner of third and fourth, winner for final spot. Works in T20, it doesn't work in
I've
ODIs.
never been a fan of that.
But I like
No,
that.
let knockouts be knockouts. Knockouts are different. That's the challenge.
But this is a
Why
knockout,
give
but it's giving
past
good.
credence?
This is a knockout. It's a knockout.
Then why have
yeah.
past matches only? Start with knockout. Why I'm saying
but you-
credence to past is
Filtration process. No, let's
So
say only
filter-
the top 4.
So then what's the point? What is the difference between finishing with
Listen.
16 points and finishing with 8
Listen.
when you're all going to start at an even
Yeah.
Listen, this
What's the
IPL format, it was created for one team.
Delhi Daredevils.
Delhi Daredevils.
2009.
And they themselves haven't made use of it, yaar.
They made final once since then.
That too,
That too.
So
they
what
lost
that
first
says-
qualifier.
I agree, but what that says is that then it's not skewed the format. The better team will always win. Delhi Daredevils have not been the better team, so they're not won, no matter the format. I'm saying
that
that
is-
the team that finishes on top should get some benefit.
Yeah.
There should be some benefit for finishing. It can't be that 16 point is same as 8 points. I'm sorry. why?
I wish Nikhil's suggestion was taken in 1992. New Zealand would have been crowned the world champions, and we wouldn't have had this debate for 30 years then.
Could have been.
Yeah.
No, but in that case, again, they would
Then
have had to
Pakistan
win that
would have
game.
won.
No, by the way, in that situation, if the top 4 teams had to be there, Pakistan would have been 4th. Okay, and New Zealand would have been top 2.
Top, they were top.
Yeah, so doesn't matter now. We're following the IPL this thing now. So top 2 we're going to play. So
New Zealand, England, South Africa, Pakistan.
yeah. So what is there to say that England wouldn't have beaten New Zealand? And if they did, Pakistan did beat New Zealand, but they would have still beaten them and gone through. Who knows? Is what I'm saying. Could have happened. Anything.
No, you're saying
But
round
at least
robin.
you're giving.
Round robin, you're saying finish all, whoever gets the most points.
No. But now move to IPL style.
No, please.
No, IPL style is that.
I like IPL.
Yeah,
I think that's better. If you,
Yeah.
it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be with me with just round robin,
Yeah.
if you don't want to be with Shane who's saying no must have knockout, then the best solution,
yeah.
the middle path is the IPL format.
It just gives that
Good
extra chance to the top 2.
See, we are by this, if we say hey, eliminator qualifier is not there, we are robbing Sunrisers Hyderabad here. Come on, they won that one title when they finished 4th.
No, but then for that matter, even the Deccan Chargers finished 4th. if you
Yeah,
remember.
but that was semi-final, not
yeah, but even then,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's just
beating whom?
Delhi
Devils.
74 all out first season of the second season of the IPL. 150 they went defending.
So Pradeep Shivalsan's not happy with that. He says, then why do we have eliminator and qualifier in IPL? That's why it's called a tournament. It's called sport. This Indian team will beat any other team even on a bad day, or it must be Armageddon.
I agree with Pradeep. That's why I'm saying this Indian team, bring on any team, will beat them.
Man.
Will beat them.
By Armageddon, I got a feeling of chess. By that Armageddon, I thought it gave me a feeling of chess. Because that's what, 5 minutes for white, 4 minutes for black. That's the rule in Armageddon. But white has to draw. No, white has to win. If black draws, declare the winner. That's the sudden death Armageddon rule. So
Armageddon, I only know the movie.
Yeah.
And WWE pay-per-view.
I know that one.
Yeah, there was.
And there's a song as well.
Yeah, Armageddon.
Karthikeya
By Iris.
was the one.
Oh.
Karthikeya says, why should we attract bad days by talking about it? No tennis champion would talk about law of averages of bad day, yet win championships, Mamba mentality.
Mamba's Kobe brother.
No, but hello, please. Everyone will talk about it. There have been campaigns in tennis when someone's been dominating, not even lost a set, but then go on and lose a tournament, not necessarily win it. Everyone, let's be honest, right? Firstly, get rid of that. If we talk about it, we'll attract it and this all.
We are not God.
Happen. Yeah, doesn't happen. It doesn't matter if you talk about it at home. Don't worry, you're not going to jinx it. There's nothing going to happen. The team will play the way they have to. And if that was the case, if there are a million of you who are talking about it, there are also a million that are not. So why wouldn't the God favor the ones that are not talking and only look at that? So, there are gazillion people. It's not that everything will be focused on just me or him or him or him. It does not, right? So all of that is out. And by the way, even if we, people on the outside, jinx it, don't jinx it. Don't fool yourself to say that the Indian team doesn't think about it. Of course they do.
Of course they do, yeah.
Any sportsman does.
You started the tournament with 8 batters just because you were always thinking of that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, every team does. That's what sport is.
Yep.
You go into every game thinking that, listen, yes, you are going to win, but there could be very well a chance we've lost at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Every sportsman that goes onto the field knows that there is a percentage chance of me losing, there's a percentage chance of me winning.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Bad day, no bad day.
Tanmay Joshi, don't you think India is better than the Aussies of 2000s, West Indies of the 80s and Invincibles of 48? Is this the best team in 141 years of cricket? Absolutely not.
Too far.
Absolutely not. If there is one team that has consistently dominated in decades of cricket, it has to be Australia.
Of course.
They are the gold standard.
And the women's team,
Women's team, they are the greatest sporting entity that we have in the 21st century. Better than, you may say, the Golden State Warriors, the...
Golden State Warriors, by the way, didn't have a dominant run. Just saying.
Maybe 3 years, Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
Maybe the Chicago Bulls of the NBA. This Australian Southern Stars are the greatest ever sporting entity that we have in the 21st century. Better than the All Blacks, the Springboks of the rugby teams and all that. So,
Debate for another time. No? I
yeah.
guess. Even this. How can you say declare them just on the basis of one World Cup? No. Australia had sustained dominance for years.
And remember,
We haven't won the World Cup yet though.
no one has won the World Cup yet
Right.
though. But remember, Australia, the first team to complete the Grand Slam. Won the World T20, won the Champions Trophy, won the World Test Championship and the World Cup.
Correct.
Today, if they manage to do the unthinkable in 2023, beat India in the final, if that is the way it's going, they'd have achieved the three-peat. won the World Test Championship, retained the Ashes, and won the World Cup. I don't think any other nation is coming close to that.
Yeah.
Vishal Panchal, agree with Nikhil. Some perks finishing first and second.
There you go. There you go. What's the point? How can
Yeah.
18 and 8 be the same? Going to the semi-final.
Then you should
or
ignore the
even-
podium also.
No, the IPL
in
format
racing.
is best.
Then you should ignore the
Yeah, I like
podium
the
in
IPL
racing.
format. So that just for their sake, I'm just saying I'm going completely left field. Only keep it to the league stage. But if my friends here want some excitement and whatever knockout, then at best I will concede to the IPL format where at least the top team gets a second shot. That allow them.
Yeah, but the third and fourth team also worked hard to get to the playoffs.
Oh well, then you finished third and fourth. You should have finished 1 and 2 to get that extra.
Not all
but
can
third
be
and
1 and
fourth, So third and fourth, you have a shot at the title now. It's better than fifth, who does not have a shot at the title.
Yeah.
So third and fourth, you have a shot, but work extra hard.
You can give that one extra off day to the
Chennai
people
Super
finishing
Kings
first
wouldn't
and
have
second.
gone to their final had it not been for that fourth spot in the IPL.
What if one team finished like they were doing well? Let's say they were guaranteed of a top 2 finish. Last 2 games get washed out. They slip to third and fourth. Then
Yeah.
Well, then that so be it.
I'll tell you one
Part is
thing.
sport.
This suggestion's only
Arena
happening
can't control. No, we can't.
Because India are on top.
because India are on top. If India were 5th or 6th, we would be debating this entire thing.
I mean, forget controlling rain. We cannot control pollution, which we can.
Oh.
We can't control that.
But
So
we
rain
still
though
don't.
is beyond us, na.
So we should scrap podiums in racing. Just keep to 2. 1 and 2. Third, no points. Fourth, no points. Isn't it? 1 and 2 gets the major benefits, isn't it?
Or the other option is again looking at various options. The
Only
other
keep a
option
winner.
is forget semi-finals. Is you do the league stage when you're playing 9 teams. Top 2 play the final straight up. Do that.
The IPL one is the best.
That's also
You could do
fine.
top
That's
2 to
fine.
play a final and maybe do a best of 3 final. How's that?
Yeah, like what happened in the Tri-Series, Australian Tri-Series used to happen.
So
Yeah.
fight hard to be in the top 2, as in the top 2 best team, where the margin then is not 18 and 8,
Yeah.
is not, and it is 18 to 14 or 18 to 16, where you can then say yes, two very good
Then
teams.
maybe you
Play best of 3 finals.
playoff.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay then,
That's a good idea.
that is it. We
Yeah.
have found a solution.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
We'll do a dugout on this format. Okay, Shivam says that. The ideal format. We'll have to do many subjects like this for 1 week.
And far too many formats. The ODI World Cup format has changed constantly. There's been a lot of changes.
No, I'm saying
Yeah.
many such subjects, considering India now play a week.
Oh god, yeah.
And that too, only 9.
Only 6 days from today, we'll be doing a preview. Otherwise, we need
See,
fillers.
there are only 2 very important games, 9th and 11th. That's it. Rest of the other games are a sideshow.
11th also the second game.
Yeah.
No, but I must add that there's going to be a lot of fun, not involving India for sure, but the rest of the teams, because that dogfight is on for even the second position to that extent, and then even third, fourth. Afghanistan also in the race. New Zealand, Pakistan. So at least next few days there's still some excitement in terms of the World Cup per se.
You know what will be that biggest dark horse? If Australia concede the game to Afghanistan.
They're not going to
That's
do
not
that,
happening.
yeah.
Would
Come on.
Australia concede?
Oh no, we won't play Afghanistan on human rights.
Listen, they can do that for a bilateral, but India also don't play bilateral.
Can they do what England did to Zimbabwe in 2003?
No, they will not. Not a chance.
Because England took the high moral ground that because Robert Mugabe is in power. We won't do it.
Yeah.
But
can happen.
that format was such, they knew that even if they do it,
Exactly.
They
Exactly.
didn't go through
They
what
did,
England.
I know.
But they still
But
could
can
have.
Can I tell you that was the situation also very different at the time, and you knew that there were a lot of folks of English heritage origin that would stay in Zimbabwe. So I think it had a lot to do with that. So I guess not so much otherwise. These are issues where you pick and choose based on your convenience as well. So.
Yeah, although Australia will be facing the flag, but I think they are on the right that time. So that's under debate. Also.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. But the debate is whether you want to bring it to the sporting arena. While continue fighting it diplomatically, politically, however you want to. I agree what Mugabe did was wrong, and you needed the world to stand against him.
Yeah.
But we could have done it outside the sporting
Outside.
field as well, which they did. They had a lot of sanctions and stuff for Zimbabwe.
Yeah, England.
Question दिखा देंगे please.
Okay. Vit Monk is saying, Nikhil, I want Kudrat Ka Nizam successfully launched in this World Cup and we are having India versus Pak semis in Eden. Oh no, please.
Torch.
We don't know.
No way.
We don't know.
Unless Pakistan do the unthinkable.
Okay, on that note, although I know you guys have been on for very long, Shane's half asleep already.
I've been half asleep through the day. That's not down to this. I've been sleeping a lot.
Don't ask me.
Oh, happens. I've been sleeping a
Not
lot.
been sleeping a lot.
No, don't think. I meant he has to do a lot of domestic household work.
course.
Now. He has to clean the utensils and clean the floor, wash the clothes. He'll have to do a lot of it going forward. So don't blame him.
Do a
Exactly.
lot of cooking also. this time.
Cooking, of course, you got to do that. That's what married life is all about. Get ready for it, man.
Indeed.
Bye bye. See you guys. Take care.
Nandri.
Vanakkam.
Yep.